Becker, swim dodge, fires and scores! Skipping a step, behind the back! Pass, the extra look, and the goal! Shot on goal and good! We welcome you to Mount Sinai High School, where this afternoon the Varsity Media Sports Network presents the second of 3 games here in the Gains for Brains Day 2, as the Broncos from Bronxville, who come in with an 8-1 record at a Section 1, take on the Sharks of Eastport South Manor, who are 5-4. Good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler here with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. So happy you're able to join us. We've had one game in the book so far, Sayville with a 14-4 win over John Jay. This one should be a lot of fun. Bronxville comes in, as we said, an 8-1 record. Their lone loss, a 1-goal defeat to New Canaan, a team that is very highly nationally ranked. Bronxville 16-7 win over Suffern in their first game. In their last game. Certainly a balanced attack for Bronxville. Really, really quality squad. It's the favorite probably in Section 1. And we'll take a look at their impact player now, Bronxville. We could have gone a couple different ways here. Catherine Berkery being one, Bridget Finley being another, but we're going to go Caroline Urcha, especially with what she does at the draw control. And she has been really, really good at that. UPenn commit, 20 goals, 9 assists. One of the fastest girls on this team as well. She gets up and down, plays both sides of the ball, unselfish, runs indoor track. So she's got energy to burn, and she will likely have a big impact in this one for a Bronxville team that really likes to push the pace and use their speed of play and pressure to create problems. That's what they did against Suffern on Friday, winning that game 16-7. Eastport South Manor, it's been a little bit of a rocky road, if you will, 5-4, although no pun intended. They did defeat Rocky Point in their last one by a goal. And the Sharks, of course, with their head coach Becky Thorne, they are no strangers to playing a high-level lacrosse, and they've got a really great impact player who will follow her sister. She's Ali Massera, the third Massera to play for Eastport South Manor. Sister Emily at Binghamton, sister Ellie at Stony Brook. That's where Ali will go as well. 6 goals, 1 assist on the year for her. She plays a lot like her older siblings, where she wears her heart on her sleeve, a lot of emotion on the field. She is a special piece to Eastport South Manor's puzzle. Let's take a look at the starters first for Bronxville. And again, the Bronx come in with an 8-1 record. It's an attack line of Finley, Tormey, Berkery, and Petty. Berkery, the leader there, with 18 goals, 23 assists, going to UPenn. Your midfield of the Krasinski sisters, Molly and Megan, the twins, as well as Urcha, we mentioned before. Your defense is Henschel, Villanueva, Becker, and Rowan. And in the cage, a really good one as well. Junior Georgetown commit Olivia Shinsato with 56 saves on the year for Bronxville. First-year head coach Joe Haven out of Cicero North Syracuse, 1985. Also the Bronxville AD. Let's quickly take a look at Eastport South Manor's starting lineup as we get set for the draw control. And you see it there, Jacalone, Luciano, Morrisroe, and Miller. Massera, Klupfel, Forte, and on the defense, you've got McLean, Sweeney, Schwack. Langdon is in the cage for Becky Thorne in her 12th season. A Sachem 2002 graduate, went to Hofstra. So, Bronxville with the first possession of the game. And our first foul here in transition. Bronxville looks to do just this. They want to push the pace, and it's something that Suffern head coach John Callahan said that his team really struggled with in that loss As there's Berkery, 5'10", behind the cage. Great eyes as well. Kind of tiptoes her way from X and kicks it up top to Krasinski. Again, pretty safe bet. When you say Krasinski, you've got 2 out of your 3 starting midfielders. As Bronxville, a patient set. Their first offensive foray of the game. Now they push the pace a little bit. There's a shot. And it goes over. Backup was there, so the Broncos will get started again. Actually, it was a foul committed first. There's a free position shot. Nice save early on by Langdon. Langdon, lefty, sophomore, really coachable. She played behind Katie Valley, who's at Arizona State. Bronxville, though, will get possession right back. Krasinski puts it back in the play. Rounds the cage. Slide comes. Kicks it back out top for Tormey. Going to Brown. 19 goals on the year. Switches hands. Goes to her right. Kicks it back to X. And that's Berkery's office. So good from there. Strength, speed. Going to fight her way through. Foul was called, so a really good opportunity here for Berkery to give Bronxville the first lead. Sister Allie, currently out at Northwestern. And again, stick check. As you saw, Urcha trying to fight her way through. Urcha puts it back in play. Goal line extended now back to X. Cut inside. Good job defensively. Oh, and a little sneak through. That shot by Tormey didn't get through, and now Eastport South Manor look to try to clear. Their numbers won't be easy here as it's gray, black on gray. That's Luciano. The sophomore, crafty, hard lefty. And Jack alone, she will look to operate from X for the Sharks. It's certainly not unique for Eastport South Manor, but a lot of siblings involved. It's certainly part of the story for a smaller school like ESM is. And we mentioned Massera at the top and how she's followed older siblings. The same is true of Gianna Giacalone. She'll go to Coastal Carolina, where, by the way, her older sister is now an assistant coach. Sam was an unbelievable goalie for the Sharks. Went on and played at Notre Dame. And another older sister, Alex, is at East Carolina. She plays defense. So 3 different sisters, 3 different positions for the Giacalones. As there is Gianna. Fires it out top, and a good opportunity here for the Sharks. Foul was called, so an 8-meter chance here. Looks like it's Mia Forte, the Binghamton-bound junior. Forte to the cage. Goes low. Good save by Shinsato. Shinsato was fantastic against Suffren. 10 saves in that 16-7 win. The Sharks maintain possession. They come this way again. That's where Forte is. One of the things that Becky Thorne likes is there's a cut to the cage. It wasn't a crisp one as it's taken away by Megan Krasinski, and now Bronxville look to push the pace. Krasinski, open field. Tries a split dodge, and she was called for the offensive foul. – in our conversation with Thorne, she said one of the keys for her team today is to match Bronxville's intensity. And they've got to be more clinical on attack. They're doing a great job at the draw. They're winning those extra possessions, but often those possessions are empty ones because they're not able to finish. And it puts a little more pressure on this side of the ball where their defenders have to work so hard and try to take those opportunities away. There's Forte. 22 is Cassidy Miller, small but quick sophomore. But this side of the ball is where a lot of the work was done this week, as there's another shot. Shinsato, another save. A lot of the work this week has been done on the offensive side where Thorne said, look, we've been working on the basics, right? Finding the back of the net, hitting the pipes, snapping our wrists. Oh, nice fake and firing high. Opening goal scored by Kiki Tormey. She sold it first with the fake pass, and then she goes sidearm. Watch it again. As Tormey gets the pass right there. There's the fake. Froze her defender. And she fired high for her 20th goal of the year. You give Megan Krasinski the assist, her 14th. Good-looking goal by Tormey. She does a lot of the hard work as well. She's in on the draws, scrappy, hard-nosed player, runs the offense, part of the girls soccer state championship team. And there you see it goes right back to the draw. After giving Bronxville the 1-0 lead. Ball's loose, scooped up, good ground ball, picked up there by Carolyn Urcha, and that's one of the reasons why she's our impact player. She's not on the draw, but she's in the circle, and she's so good at getting those ground balls. And quickly, it's 2-0. Molly Krasinski gets the goal. The Colgate commit, her 20th of the year. And I believe her twin sister is the one who gave her the pass. Yeah, it was. It was Krasinski to Krasinski. Molly finishing off the feed from Megan. And just like that, Bronxville, 2 quick goals by Tormey and Molly Krasinski, and they've got a 2-0 lead. And these first few minutes, further evidence of what Becky Thorne was saying, right, where you've got to be more clinical on attack, especially if you've got some possessions and some opportunities. And ESM's had a few, weren't able to capitalize off of the draw. Look at that again, one-handed scoop of a GB for Urcha. And now the Broncos look like they're starting to get some momentum going. Stick check as stopped play as Megan Krasinski will look to put it back into play. Backing up is Forte. Kind of forced the pass there to behind the cage. Ground ball. It's loose. And ESM comes away with it. Can they get the clear? Because we know Bronxville's ride is super aggressive. Good job pushing the pace for Amanda Sweeney. Sweeney, sophomore. Thorne knew in the winter tournament out at Spooky Nook that she would, she kind of showed that she deserved the chance, and she's earned it here during the regular season, and she's not disappointed. Jack Alone from X. Turns the cage, low shot, and a goal. She got into the dirty area did Jack alone, and paid off there as well for her. She gets ESM's first goal. Watch her here from X. The hard dodge round the cage, hits the floor hard, but she gets her 12th goal of the year. A big one at that as well, cutting ESM's deficit to 2-1. Jack alone, we mentioned her sisters. Well, her parents, both also former Division I athletes. Mom Teresa played softball at North Carolina. Dad Steve, who's an assistant coach on this ESM girls lacrosse team, played soccer at Hofstra. Back to the draw circle we go. What a great job there by Massara. You could see that she kind of anticipated where that draw would go, where the draw would go. She went to get the ground ball, scooped it, was fouled, and now ESM has a chance to tie the score at 2. An active stick, though, on that far side. That was Lene Henschel, the freshman, a state champion cross-country runner. And Bronxville is doing just that. They are out and running. Here's Urcha. Surveys her situation, looks for opportunities, gets it to GLE. Behind the cage where Berkery operates. Tries to feed it in front. Getting her stick on it was Langdon. Loose ball, and it will go to ESM. Lauren Dunn, the senior Butler commit, was in there. I want to thank the Long Island Yellow Jackets for their sponsorship of these Gains for Brains games. Carol Rose and Tracy Weiner and everybody there at the Yellow Jackets making these broadcasts possible. Off the restart. ESM looks to tie this game at 2. You see how aggressive the Bronxville defenders are, quickly getting to the ball. Nice cut there, and looks like another chance here for ESM. An 8-meter. And it's Forte, looks like, again. Forte spins. Defenders converge. She's forced to kick it back out. Hard dodge. Losing the ball, though. Scooping it back up. Handing it off was Massara. Jack alone from X. Looking for cutters. Keeps it behind the cage. Swung all the way out far side. Here's Forte now. Forte will get it back. Looks for options. Whistle. We approach 13 minutes left here in the first half. The free position opportunity. That Forte will just back up and restart this offense. Forte, good cut. Shot blocked in front. Shinsato got it. And Bronxville looks to break. Megan Krasinski. There's a look, the shot, right into Langdon's stick. The attempt by Bridget Finley. And a good-looking save by Langdon. Langdon's a goalie who kind of puts a lot of pressure on herself. And Thorin said, listen, you do that, but there's 11 other girls in front of you. Even though you are that last line as a goalie. But the clearing game has been pretty on point. You can see that she also got the distance on it. As a lefty, she's special as well. And she's come a really long way with her communication, which obviously is so integral for a goalie as well. So ESM's had a few bites of the apple here to try to tie the score. Can they do it here on this trip down the field? And you can see kind of why Becky Thorne is excited about this group. And there's a shot again, Shinsato with the save. But also why there's a level of frustration, right? Because they're right there. They do a lot of things right. And they just struggle a little bit on this side. Haley Klupfel, the Drexel-bound senior. I guess they said that she was moving, and we'll go the other way. Finley. Hands off to Berkery. And she'll go to X. Once Bronxville gets the ball in a settled situation, that's where Berkery generally takes over from X, runs the offense. And again, 5'10", UPenn commit. And there she is with the ball. Langdon kind of almost operating as another defender, just at least getting her stick up, trying to shield that look that Berkery had from X. Little flip pass, spinning, split dodge, firing. Shot is saved. The attempt was by Molly Krasinski. Oh, but the ride gets it back. Berkery. Langdon had to scamper back into her cage as Bronxville maintains their possession. 2-1 lead for the Broncos. It's Tormey and Molly Krasinski, Megan Krasinski, a pair of assists. Hard move to the cage. Good defending, and now a whistle is called for a cross-check, so it gives a good chance for Caroline Urcha to score her 21st goal of the year. Langdon gets big in the cage. Urcha's 8-meter. Oh, a nice save. Langdon did well. It went off the top of her stick. And it will be ESM ball. And again, the Broncos, with this aggressive ride, they will not make it easy for the Sharks to clear. ESM, another chance to tie the game. Off the stick. And Forte is harassed. It was a stick check there by Amy Villanueva, the freshman. Luciano looking to make a cut to X as they reverse the ball to the far side. Jack Alone gets it to Luciano. Fires a ball to the top. Active sticks for Bronxville. Again, trying to cut off the passing lane. That passed a little bit off the mark. Good ground ball scooped up, though, to keep the Sharks' possession alive. This game 2 of 3 today at the Games for Brains Lacrosse Showcase. Our finale will have the host Mustangs of Mount Sinai taking on Sacred Heart of Hempstead. That's the lone Long Island versus Long Island game here today. Its other two are featuring Section 1 against Long Island. And in fact, to be a little more specific, Section 1 against Suffolk County. I think we might have our first yellow card. No. Thought I saw a card coming up. No, we do. So first opportunity here for Bronxville with the extra player on the field. As the clock stops at 6:51 remaining in this first half. A low-scoring half with Bronxville leading 2-1. So ESM, a little more pressure now on them defensively to get a stop. Yellow cards, a lot of times, they change games. And maybe no better example than the first Gains for Brains game yesterday, as Megan Krasinski gets her first goal after setting up Bronxville's first two. She extends the Broncos' lead to 3-1. There you see 5, stick up, looks, and then just says, I'm going to go. Finishes high, did Megan Krasinski. Again, the Krasinski twins, they are the biggest competitors you'll ever meet, said Joe Haven, the head coach, and it is hard for him to get them both off the field. Both also part of that state champion girls soccer team. So we were saying it before, just before she scores the goal, yellow cards change games. You look again yesterday afternoon in that battle of national powerhouses between Northport and New Canaan. New Canaan scores 4 goals with the extra player on the field, and that ended up being the difference in that win, handing Northport their first loss in a couple years. So deficit now 2 for ESM. Again, they're still down a player. Looking, though, for the response. We'll get it to X. Oh, nice roll. Here's a chance at a shot. Oh, Shinsato again. But a foul was called. Oh, they're going to say that was a dangerous shooting opportunity. I'm not so sure about that. And it's one of those calls in the game of girls lacrosse that is so hard, right? Because you want your players to be aggressive and to take hard shots at the cage, and the game has become so much more athletic. And now ESM, again, will be down a player. Well, Shinsato had no problem with it. She still made the save. Oh, good look. The return pass and the goal for Bridget Finley. It's another woman up goal as Bronxville extends their lead to 4-1. See the extra space there as she got the look. 22, Berkery with the assist. Her 24th helper of the year. And this could really be a big difference in this game here, with Bronxville having a 2-player edge with 2 Sharks in. And again, these yellow cards, 2-minute infractions, and when you've got a team like Bronxville who can light up the scoreboard the way they can, it is a dangerous time. Good draw control, though, for ESM. An important one at that as well. Just for no other reason, then you can maybe start to kill some of this clock and get some numbers back on the field. All right, so we go the other way now. It's an aggressive start for both, and there's a yellow for Bronxville's Megan Krasinski. She's got a goal and 2 assists, so she goes in with 4:44 left. So both teams will be down a player at this point, and eventually ESM will be up a player. They've got the ball now with a chance to slice away at their deficit, spinning in front. Good stick check from behind. Ball is loose, and the stick check was by Amy Villanueva, the freshman, and the Broncos get the ball. ESM wants to ride aggressively, but Urcha fights her way through, gets the clear, and then she gets clipped. Quick restart. Molly Krasinski looks to spin, gets the double. They go to X now, and there are 4 minutes left in this first half. A 4-1 lead for Bronxville. Kiki Tormey back out to Urcha. Broncos again, the class of Section 1. Sidearm shot wide of the cage by Molly Krasinski. They are 8-1. Their only defeat to New Canaan. And that defeat looks even better when you see New Canaan beat Northport yesterday. Berkery fights her way through. And when she's one-on-one going to the cage, she is hard to stop. The UPenn commit scores her 19th goal of the year, and she extends Bronxville's lead to 5-1. Watch 25 here. Well, there's a celebration after the goal, but to use a basketball reference, just sort of got into that low post and backed her defender down, used that size and strength that she has, and was able to get the goal. She's got a goal and an assist to this point, and she's extended Bronxville's lead to 5-1. No one in the circle. They're able to get it straight away. And that's a great response for ESM. Right off the draw control. And they pull a goal back. That one took not a lot of time at all. I think that was Jack alone. No, sorry. Hard to see the number again. It's that far side by the 40. We'll get you that score in a moment. Back to the draw circle we go. Another opportunity now for ESM. Down by 3 with the ball. We're even now. to the cage. Shot. Shinsato makes the save. I think that was Cassidy Miller, by the way, with that goal, 22. As now Bronxville looks to tack on perhaps another goal here before the break. They go to X. Berkery. Looks like the Broncos slowing things down a little bit now. Perhaps looking to hold for the last, in the final 2 minutes of a first half that, possession-wise, I think you'd argue ESM's had more of the ball, but Bronxville has been certainly more clinical with their chances. On the other side, Shinsato's been really good, as has Langdon, to be fair. Another save for her. As now ESM's going to try to maybe get one goal here before the break. They get the clear. Now they can get their offense going. There's Miller in the final minute here of this first half. Gets it right back. And apologies, I think it was Emma McLean, 12, with the ESM goal. I said it was Miller before, but I was looking, it's a 12, and that is McLean's number, so we'll give her the goal. Forte, slide comes to her. Good look at the crease. Ooh, and a hard check, and a second one as well. So an opportunity for ESM as it's McLean again. McLean, 4 goals on the year for the sophomore. Final 25 seconds of this first half. An important 8-meter opportunity. McLean, strong to the cage, goes high. Shinsato says no. Big save for the junior. And that will likely do it for this first half. Shinsato has been great. It's been a balanced attack for Bronxville, and they'll go into this halftime break with a 5-2 lead. We'll take a quick break here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, and we'll bring in the second half when we return right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST.
Under, and what a look.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect sets and music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net. For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net. For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effects set to music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net. For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition and land a spot on the team. We use your best plays with our custom editing effect sets and music to ensure a college coach sees your athletic skills. Contact us today to book a college recruiting video. 516-403-2050 or email Jeff at varsitymedia.net. For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Stand out from the competition with a Varsity Media college recruiting video. A college recruiting video from Varsity Media can help save money on college tuition.
Welcome back to Mount Sinai. Dylan Butler here with you as the second half about to start. I want to certainly thank Long Island Yellow Jackets for their sponsorship of the Gains for Brains broadcasts. You see there 2020-2021 Yellow Jacket program, number 2 in the U.S., number 1 in New York State, number 1 club on Long Island. LIYellowJackets.com, proud sponsor of the Gains for Brains. 5-2 lead for Bronxville over Eastport South Manor as the second half is underway. Battle for the loose ball. Little push there from behind off the draw control, and the win was by Urcha. So Bronxville, again, we weren't keeping like time of possession stats, but I want to say that ESM had the edge there, but again, Bronxville was better with their opportunities. First half, which saw the Broncos also capitalize on the extra player. This game 2 of 3. Our third matchup will have the host Mustangs here from Mount Sinai against Sacred Heart from Hempstead. Berkery fouled behind the cage, so she will restart from there. Spins on her defender. Big, strong, low attacker is Berkery. And officials are calling it pretty tight here today, and didn't think there was much there on that little push, but another foul was called. A couple of yellow cards were given out in the first half to ESM, one to Bronxville as well. Don't think the game has been necessarily overly physical, but again, you're gonna have to adjust to the officiating as well when you play out there. So ESM looking to be a little bit more aggressive, and maybe some of what they want to do is taken away there. Urcha, good first step. Urcha to the cage, and there we see again an infraction was called. So Urcha with the 8-meter chance. Goes hard to the cage. And you loved there Langdon getting big, taking away some of that shooting space, and ball gets bounced wide. A little hitch in her step, shot far side. Another save in front. That attempt was by Molly Krasinski. And another shooting space violation, which gives the Broncos another 8-meter. It'll be Urcha. She's been off the scoreboard today. Goes to the cage and scores. Listen, they've been knocking on the door. These chances have been coming, and it was only, you would think, a matter of time before the Broncos scored on one of these. As you see, Urcha committed to what she wanted to do, fired it in. Her 21st goal of the year, one of the fastest players on a team that's really filled with a lot of speed. We mentioned before that win over Suffern, and the Suffern head coach, John Callanan, said about Bronxville, with their speed of play and the pressure they created, our heads were spinning. He said every one of those kids is able to create pressure. They don't have any gaps. And that's a Suffern program we saw yesterday out at Cold Spring Harbor with an overtime loss to Garden City. So Suffern, certainly one of the best teams in Section 1, and they suffered a 16-7 loss to Bronxville, which just shows you maybe how much better Bronxville is in their own section and maybe in the tri-state as well. Nice draw control right into the stick of Krasinski. Oh, what a feed as well. Overhand shot. And a foul was called again. Looked like it was Tormey trying to load up the shot, and it was, as she now has an 8-meter opportunity. And a good save by Langdon. I'll tell you, it's hard when you lose a player like Valley to graduation, right? And everything that she brought with her, and obviously now she's doing her thing out at Arizona State. But Langdon has done really well, and probably the thing you like most about her is that she's a sophomore, right? So she's going to be here for a couple more years. That's Maddie Schwack, the senior. Restarts it to Jack alone, and they work it to X. Look at the pressure. Oh, and a good split. It opens up. Low shot and a goal. What a finish at the high crease. This time, I think it was Cassidy Miller, number 22. We gave her credit earlier, but it begins with that. Splitting the pressure and the pass and the contact as well. But Miller, the super quick but small sophomore, does get her first goal of the game, her 8th. And ESM not going to go away. 6-3 is the deficit. Off the draw, we will go ESM's way. So apologies as well for maybe some struggles in picking up the numbers. Again, it's those black numbers against the gray jerseys with the sun shining, and kind of put all those factors in. It makes it a little bit difficult, but we will soldier on. That's Forte up top. 6-3 the deficit for ESM. ESM also, a common opponent is New Canaan, and they both lost to the Rams. ESM's loss was a little bit more lopsided than Bronxville's, which was by a goal. Again, the double came, but slagged off there. Good ball movement for the Sharks. Good slide. Here comes Emma McLean. Switches it to her left. They go goal line extended. Now wrap it around the cage. Return to sender. Good slide by the Broncos. Gets into the stick of Shinsato. So great defensive work by Bronxville to get the caused turnover. But an errant pass out to midfield is picked off by the Sharks. Now they have some numbers going forward. And there's a stick check to stop that forward progress. Forte up top. She wants to be the hero, are the words from Becky Thorne, and she's not afraid to go to goal. There she is. Shooting space. Offensively, Forte sees things. Defensively, sometimes she gets matched up against the opposition's top player. Now a chance for ESM to slice their deficit as Forte buries it. Here come the Sharks. Down by 2. Watch the velocity on this shot by the Binghamton commit. Pumps the brakes and fires it high. Shinsato unable to make the save. A big goal for Forte, and the way they're battling at the draw circle as well, they've got a chance here with 17:30 left in the second half. Credit Forte with her 14th goal of the year. A year ago, she was on defense. This year, pushed up to midfield. Ground ball picked up. So ESM starting to turn that momentum tide their way. The Broncos ratcheting up the intensity now defensively. And this is some of the words I think that Callanan was saying about the Broncos' pressure. McLean, one of those as well, who's good at the 8-meter. She's a defender, but also stepped up, and again, that errant pass was picked off by Molly Krasinski, and Bronxville will go the other way. Feet in front. Great save by Langdon as a cutter came right to her crease. And a big save by the sophomore, who has been very good here on the day. Maddie Schwack could be a special player, Thorne said. quick, aggressive. She's really a midi, but again, being asked to play defense for ESM. Over-aggressive stick work there by Krasinski. Forte is kind of in the quarterback from up top there. It was Jack alone from X. Now an attack and a goal. Here come the Sharks. Just a situation of attacking the space. I think that was Luciano. If it was, it's her first goal, the 12th of the season. Funny thing about Luciano is if you know your ESM history a little bit, she's a crafty, hard lefty who Thorne says, listen, at times you remind me of Kelsey Huff. And of course, when you mention the name Huff, that's right there at the Mount Rushmore of Eastport South Manor players. And she can go hard. She does it in practice. She's hard to defend, but sometimes she gets in her own head. So Luciano, an important goal. East Meadow ESM calls a timeout. Becky Thorne said, we're trying to find our groove this season. We graduated 15 seniors last year, only 2 to 3 returning players who saw any time a year ago. 2 started, 1 came in at games. So it's a younger group that she said, and it's an interesting point because you don't really think of it right away. They were kind of shortchanged a little bit from the pandemic, right? Where last year's season was so quick and you had to squeeze in so many games in a short amount of time. Your practices were very much limited, right? So that meant that these younger players didn't get the usual coaching that they would, and the learning curve has been a little bit more difficult for them this year. So that's why, you know, when you kind of see them in the second half of the season, I think they'll be a better team and certainly a good showing here today as they've now pulled within a goal, 6-5 off of that goal by Luciano. This game 2 of 3 here today, and we had 4 yesterday out at Cold Spring Harbor where New Canaan opened it up with a win over Northport. Garden City needed overtime to beat Suffern, and St. Anthony's a hard-fought 1-goal win over Greenwich Academy. The same was true of Sacred Heart from Greenwich, beating the host Seahawks of Cold Spring Harbor by 1 goal as well. Sayville, big win in Game 1 today against John Jay. And now we are in another 1-goal game here with just a shade over 15 minutes left. Off the draw, a good win on the ground ball by Megan Krasinski. Now Berkery. It's a big possession for Bronxville. If they could score, you go back ahead by 2, right? But if you can get a stop for ESM, momentum going your way, you've got a chance to tie the score on the other end. And they're going to be a little bit more patient. After defending there for a few minutes. Berkery. Thought about the inside roll. Oh, fantastic cut to the cage and a goal. Oh, that was pretty. Kiki Tormey, her second of the game, and a great feed as well by Berkery, who picks up her second assist of the game. Crisp cut, and look, she's got not a lot of room there, right? So she's got to quickly turn and fire and score. She did just that. Tormey's second of the game, 21st of the season. Berkery picks up assist number 25. And Bronxville back in front by 2 with 14 minutes left. Back to the draw control. Big win for ESM. Luciano. The double comes. You can see Bronxville being more aggressive now. She needs help. She splits it. Loses the ball, though. And they can't scoop it up. That's a bad place to get doubled, and help didn't come quick enough, and now Bronxville is able to turn it around. Player hit the ground hard. Slow to get up. And we'll stop the clock here for a quick injury timeout. It was Amy Villanueva, the freshman defender. So she's walking off pretty well after absorbing that hit, so she looks to be okay as we restart. Just over 13 minutes left in this one. Bronxville trying to improve to 9-1 on the year. Maybe make a push for some national ranking love. Megan Krasinski. Tormey, they go to X. With a 2-goal lead, too, you afford yourself to be a little bit more patient offensively. There's Urcha. Berkery. She's got some cutters, but she cuts out herself now. Strong power move. Berkery goes through a left. Back down well. Tormey had nowhere to go. Has to kick it back out. Spin up top. Help comes. Krasinski looks for options. Finds Urcha. Back to X. This is the most patient offensive set we've seen from Bronxville, but understandable as well. You've got a 2-goal lead here with just over 10 minutes left, and there's a charge called by or against Krasinski. Right into her defender. The stick checks have been called tightly here in Game 2 today. Schwack, a goal and an assist on the year. Pushes it far side. And ESM, even though there's still a lot or a good amount of time left, they probably can't be super patient, but also you can't force it, right? You got to kind of toe that line, which is a difficult one to do. Feet to the crease, turning, firing, and just off the mark. Ball stays, though, in play. Foul called on Bronxville. So ESM will restart from X. From the side there. Cross-check called. Another 8-meter opportunity. Oh, they'll give it the goal. Thought they had waved it off. It's a goal. So 7-6 now is the score, and ESM again within a goal. Big draw control. One goal game with 10-11 left. And we'll do it again. That's Haley Klupfel, the Drexel commit. First season healthy for Haley. She's been really big here in the draw. She's gotten stronger, and with her height and strength, she takes advantage of winning it out of the air or just kind of setting up her teammate off the draw. Big GB for ESM. That was McLean. Eastport South Manor a chance now as we had under 10 minutes left to tie the score. They've rallied here in the second half. They feed in front. There's the goal. We are tied at 7. And I believe that was Klupfel again, 11. I think she's got 2 now. I think she had that other one on the crease. Almost 6 feet is Klupfel, and tied again at 7. If you are ESM, you absolutely love this rally where it looked like it was Bronxville's game, but the Sharks just kept fighting, and they've got it tied and back to the draw control where they've won the last one as well. This ground ball, though, scooped up by Bronxville. A fantastic second game here, and it would seem, as another check was called, it will come down to the wire. So when these things happen, we credit the matchmaker, and we have him back with us now. It's Andrew Rappaport. And Raph, listen, this one's been great. You know, Bronxville, the class of Section 1, where they certainly flex their muscles against Suffering, and look, if New Canaan is sort of that benchmark for these two teams, well, Bronxville had a 1-goal loss, and ESM's a little bit more lopsided. But listen, the Sharks, man, they just battle. They're Long Island tough, and they're right back in this one.
I think you use the right words, Long Island tough, because that's the standard that a lot of these teams want to play against. They want to play Long Island teams and show that they can match up with those squads. Another big save.
Yeah, Langdon's been great. We said before, right, it's hard when you have to fill the shoes of a Division I player in the cage, but she's been really good, not just throughout the season, but especially here today.
ESM, in all the years I've been covering them, always has a good goalie.
Yeah.
Whether it's Jacqueline, who was all-world to go to Notre Dame.
Now she'll be coaching her sister. How about that? Coastal Carolina.
I didn't even realize she's a Coastal Carolina coaching now.
I mean, I hope she is. I mean, that's what I looked at last night about 1 in the morning as I was doing my research. I could be wrong, but my note says that she's a Coastal Carolina assistant now after her playing days at Notre Dame, and that's where Gianna will go as well.
Sam Jacqueline was probably, I don't know, top 2-3 goalies I've seen in Long Island. ESM, though, always has those great players year after year, which is why they're always in the state championship mix, why they've won a couple of state championships, why they're considered, one of the premier teams in all of Long Island, because they're that good.
One of the reasons why they pretty much, I would guess, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but they just about have an open invitation, I think, every year for Games for Brains.
Head coach Becky Thorne knows that as soon as we pick the date, she's one of the first calls we make. Becky always wants to be in this. Again, we talked about this last game. It's one of those things where in Suffolk, okay, which is different than a lot of places, in Suffolk, you only get 2 non-league matchups a year. And sure, you can go out and go to Florida or go and play other places.
Well, Bayport went down to the USA Lacrosse facility and lost a tough one, American Heritage down there.
And then they played the next day, so they played their 2 non-league games, somewhere else. But when we put this together, and the Suffolk teams have one chance to take on one of their non-league games and not leave far behind, and they know they're going to get a great matchup in this tournament because we have such good teams. Hey, why not? And like I said, Becky wants to win a state championship, and in a game like this is only going to make her better.
Yeah, she said, too, coming in, as we want to thank, of course, Long Island Yellow Jackets for their sponsorship of these games as well, and what a program that Cara Rose and Tracy Wiener and everybody have put together.
And Becky Thorne, one of the coaches.
Becky Thorne, yeah. Becky was saying, too, that she played for Cara Rose with Yellow Jackets back in the day, where she was a soccer player, didn't pick up a lacrosse stick till the 8th grade, but Carol saw something in her and what she could do, and then she goes to play at Hofstra and kind of, she's best buds with Danielle Castellane, who we saw yesterday at Cold Spring Harbor. And
another Yellow Jacket.
And another Hofstra alum as well,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So you can kind of see the synergy there as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and the Yellow Jackets, year after year after year after year, and I can keep saying that, pump out the best talent. They are the premier travel summer, program. They are the standard, and a lot of these teams, so many of these teams that are great year after year after year, have so many Yellow Jackets on the team.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, and that's a difference, I think, too, with the girls' game and the boys' game, where the boys' game, with Joey Spallina or Joe Spallina, the dad, as there's a nice shot to the cage, big goal scored by Molly Krasinski, her second of the game, and gives Bronxville the lead again. And again, you see the cut to the cage, and that's the sister act again. It's one twin to the other as Megan Krasinski picks up her 3rd assist on Molly Krasinski's 2nd goal. But on the boys' side, you've got a few different programs, right? Express, of course, Team 91, Igloo. These are all, you spread the wealth a little bit, and you've got a lot of very good teams. You can't necessarily say, 91, I think it was their Smash team or their Crush team, I think, was the one that was the best in the nation, right? But there's no doubt in the girls' game who the top dog is, and year in and year out, that's the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, and listen, I'm sure there are other good programs as well. This is not a let's bash every other team, but the Yellow Jackets are that level for a reason. I think that the graphic said number 2 in the U.S., number 1 club team in the state. And it's not the first year of that. They produce so many All-Americans. They produce so many high-level players, produce so many Division I, Division II, Division III players, and that's why, they're spread all over Long Island. Now, now the Yellow Jackets are spreading into Westchester too. I was speaking to one of the dads yesterday from one of the Suffering Girls, Drab, and he said, "Yeah, we have now we're now running the Yellow Jackets."
Cobra Kai.
Used to be Cobra Kai.
Yep.
I wore my Cobra Kai shirt proud for so long, and he said to me, "No more Cobra Kai." It kind of dissolved, and we become the Yellow Jackets. So the first thing that came to my mind was, "Oh my God, can I not wear my Cobra Kai shirt anymore?" He said, No, it's a classic. You can continue to wear it." I said, "Great, I'm happy. Now I just need some Yellow Jackets." Tracy, you listening? Carol, you listening? I need a Yellow Jackets pullover, please.
But I mean, look, not only obviously are they best and they churn out all these Division I players, but their generosity here as well, and that's certainly one of the reasons, or the biggest reason, we're thanking them here. On the extra player, the finish at the cage, and you just wonder if, after having to claw back as much as ESM's had to do, if that goal by Tormey, which is her third, with the extra player opportunity after that yellow card, might just about put this one out of reach for Bronxville.
Yeah, it was a tough climb back, and give ESM a little credit. I think Bronxville's on a different level this year. I think Bronxville is, they're a special team this year, like you said, coming off that big win over Suffern the other day and playing those Connecticut teams so close. Their goal is state championship this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if Bronxville at the end of the year was standing there, although Cold Spring Harbor might have something to say about that. But I think, and I was looking at the bracket yesterday, that's going to be a fun state semifinal matchup in Cortland on the white field. State semifinals will be Bronxville versus Cold Spring Harbor, if everything goes according to plan.
Yes.
A lot of things happen between now and then. But if everything goes according to plan, those two will be playing for state in the state semis.
And interesting, too, right, with Bronxville, because all the players are back, but, oh, what a rip. Molly Krasinski. Now, you could understand maybe some of the argument here from the ESM fans, right? Because that was an absolute rip. Is that a dangerous situation, right? Because you do kind of go through a couple players. You see the player at the crease there lowering down with the shot coming. That was called against ESM in the first half.
Yeah, so.
Not here, though. And
they're like, what about us? We're the home team. Can we get a call, too?
But, yeah, no, I was going to say, all the players are back for Bronxville, but a coaching change, right? So that's you always kind of wonder how that changes. But Joe Haven, the AD, who's taken over as the head coach, has done a great job. And, it's former coach now over at Sacred Heart in Greenwich. And yeah, now they are on all cylinders, really kicking in the gear. Catherine Berkery, that power forward, her second goal of the game to extend this lead for the Broncos.
I was talking to one of the players from Bronxville, one of the players' moms from Bronxville, just during the game. You mentioned Shan Robinson, and they said, "Listen, we're so grateful for her. We're so grateful for what she did to the program. Helping them turn these players, because Sharon was an All-American at Yale."
Yeah, 14 years at the helm at Bronxville, so she really built the culture. And
yeah, absolutely. And like you said, Bronxville's at that level now, and they're so thankful for Sharon. And that's now Joe Haven is in charge here, and Sharon's doing her thing at Sacred Heart Academy of Greenwich. But yeah, she helped turn this program into the national power that they are.
Yeah, I said before, you kind of wonder maybe after these last couple games if Bronxville does get maybe a little bit of that national ranking push or tick, if you will. And they have been impressive. Again, they're only defeat by one goal to a New Canaan team that, although they lost to Darien, they beat Northport and ended their long winning streak.
Every day it's something different. I feel bad for whoever puts together these these national rankings. Everybody beats everybody. There's, I don't know, very few I mean, there are a lot of very good teams. There are very few dominant teams. St. Paul's out of Maryland, I think, is the only one that hasn't lost this year, I feel like.
Yeah, for years it was McDonough, right?
McDonough, yeah. McDonough goes and beats St. Anthony's by a lot and then loses, what is it, two or three of the next games? So who knows?
This is, what are we up to? 6, right? Game 6 of 7?
Yes.
Game 7 should be fun as well coming up. Mount Sinai and Sacred Heart, the only all Long Island matchup of this tournament, but a cool sort of, public-private or public-Catholic showdown, and super excited to see this Mount Sinai team, littered with Division I commits, and, going to let the cat out of the bag. We do our impact player of the game, and when we were here for the boys opener against Northport, as that question mark dodge blocked, it was Joey Spallina, right? Understandably so, top-ranked player in the country, top-ranked recruit in the country in 2022. Well, we're going to go with his younger sister, Alexa. Really super excited to see her live for the first time, and might be the best attacking player in the class of 2025.
I think when Alexa was, I don't know, a year old, maybe 2 years old, Dad pulled me aside and he said, see this little girl right here? Joey's going to be good. Alexa's going to be better. I said, she can barely crawl. What are you talking about, Joe? She's not walking yet. He said, see this girl right here? She's going to be better than Joey. So, listen, he knows how to turn out lacrosse players, that's for sure.
Yeah, big time. I mean, talk about the first family of lacrosse, certainly out here.
And everybody he's turned out at Stony Brook.
Yeah.
And Rocky Point before that, and Adelphi in between there.
Another yellow card. We've had a few in this game. I feel like it's been called tightly in this one. I don't think it's been as I don't think the number of yellow cards indicates the way this game has gone. I think it's been really close to the vest here by the referees. Sometimes you kind of want to let these teams play, but yeah, listen, out here, Mount Sinai, I mean, beautiful facility and so gracious for them to host today. But, I mean, we are in lacrosse season, and what a two programs that they have, right, between the boys and the girls. And it's just we talk about the words culture a lot with lacrosse. There is that lacrosse culture here at Mount Sinai.
Which is the same as Eastport South Manor and Bronxville, right? It's the same culture that both of these girls' teams have now come to be. Listen, Bronxville, keeps getting close, and ESM has those two state championships. And it's now, when you win one, it's like, oh, great job, do it again. So ESM did it again. When you win 2 state championships, when now when Becky Thorne walks around with her 2 state titles, that's impressive. That's
100%.
That's not something everybody can say they've done.
And we've said it before, and guys like Jimmy Cavallo and Mike Quick back in the MSG varsity days said it as well. It is so difficult to get off the island, whether it's girls or boys lacrosse, and you just feel when you do, and you make that bus ride to Cortland in the girls' case, you go there with swagger and also realizing that no team in the state has been as battle-tested as you've been. Yeah.
So, for example, to give an example of what you were just talking about, I'm not really sure the breakdown of the rest of the state, but let's say in Class B on Long Island, Eastport, South Manor, if they want to go upstate, let's say they even win Suffolk County, in order to get off Long Island, you now have to play Garden City.
Yeah.
So an ESM Garden City game in some years could be better than the state championship. Could be a more high-profile game than a state championship game. Another case in point, this year to get out of Nassau County in Class C, it could be Manhasset versus Wantagh in the Class C final, which then, great. If Manhasset, whoever wins that game, then, oh, by the way, you only have to play Bayport Blue Point. And that's just to win a Long Island championship. That's,
all right.
So I've always been a big proponent, and until other state teams from around the state can start doing it on a consistent basis, it's almost unfair to a Section 8 winner and a Section 11 winner that one team can't go up because they could be two of the 4 best teams in New York State, but they can't both get there.
100%. and upstate, too, this year, maybe the wild card is a Victor, right? Which we talked about New Canaan sort of being that measuring stick for other teams. Well, they went and they beat New Canaan. Right. They lost to Darien by one goal. So, that's a team that, they're not playing day in and day out the same competition that these teams are, but and also by doing so, they're not maybe getting beat up, right, throughout the season.
That's why it's so important for teams. It doesn't matter if you're ESM, if you're Bronxville, Gardens, whoever. It's so important for these teams to schedule hard non-league games because I know there are always some coaches out there who want the perfect record. But at the end of the day, if you don't battle test yourself and then you go upstate and it's like a state of shock because you're playing such hard competition, if you're not battle tested, it doesn't matter if you go 19-0 because if you have that one loss, whatever the record is, that's why these games get them ready.
Well, that was the words of Danielle Castellane when I spoke to her before the Sacred Heart game. Said our goal was never to be undefeated.
Right.
Our goal is to get on the bus for Cortland. And however we got to do that, if we have to increase our non-league schedule, play the best around, because she said she heard the chatter around that as a Class D, they had an easy road to get there. She said, well, fine, screw it. We'll play the best teams we can. And that was part of the situation yesterday, a 1-goal loss to Sacred Heart from Greenwich in the finale of day 1 of the Games for Brains.
And I always give a round of applause to teams that want to step up and want to take on that challenge. And let me just give, before the game ends, let me give a shout out to the charity, to the foundation. So Gains for Brains, we raise money for the Making Headway Foundation. Making Headway Foundation provides comfort and care for children with brain and spinal cord tumors. We've raised, close to $60,000, maybe a little bit more over the previous 5 years of this tournament. And you can see on the top of the screen, we just popped up our website, gainsforbrainslax.org. And if you go there, on that page, there's a lot of information about this tournament. There's a lot of information about the charity, which you can read on, and you can donate. And that's the most important thing. You can help the cause. You can donate, give a couple dollars. Like I said, it all benefits kids with brain and spinal cord tumors. It's a great organization. On the website, you can read about why I chose this organization to help out, and there's a lot of great stuff on there. You can click on the Varsity Media link and watch all the previous games from this tournament and all the awesome games they've done this year. So there's a little plug for gainsforbrainslax.org.
I also wanted to, before this game ends, also send our support to the Massera family that had a really bad house fire this week. And also, by the way, this speaks to the competitor that Allie Massera is, where when Becky Thorne said, listen, they had a bunch of animals, right? So when the family ran in to get the animals, Allie ran in as well to make sure she got her jersey to make sure that it didn't get damaged in the fire. So, listen, this is a kid where lacrosse is her outlet.
That's culture.
It's culture, 100%. We also want to wish the best, of course, to her uncle, Scott Huff. You mentioned, the tough situation people have battling brain cancer as well. So the Masseras won't be back in their house for a couple months at the least. But thankfully, everybody's healthy and well, and Massera is able to come out here on a beautiful day for a beautiful cause and play the game of lacrosse.
Just to switch gears a little bit, you mentioned the Huff family, another royal family.
I said Mount Rushmore, right? When you talk about ESM and Kelsey, of course, went to USC, and the comparison was made a little bit by Thorne for Caitlin Luciano. Said, you remind me of Kelsey Huff. Can you imagine sort of what that means, right, to a young player who's probably one of the young girls, 4th, 5th grade, watching Kelsey Huff do her thing?
If you're a Huff, if you get compared to Huff, Jackalone, Shoma in this town, you're doing something right, because those are the Mount Rushmore, Massera, those are the Mount Rushmore families of Eastport, South Mountain lacrosse.
There's a few for Mount Sinai lacrosse as well.
Yeah.
Pareka being one of them, and we'll talk more about that when that game comes in. So final score, Bronxville 11-7 win over ESM. Bronxville improves to 9-1 on the season, while ESM's record is even at 5. For everybody here at Varsity Media, Dylan Butler thanking you for joining us. And we've got our third game coming up in about half an hour or so as the Mustangs of Mount Sinai take on Sacred Heart from Hempstead. We hope you join us here again for that one at 3 o'clock right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.